Welcome to Papa Junk's shop. Second part of the Model A, Briggs Model A series. Been working on the oldest one with the hand crank. Got the points clean. The condenser was bad. Found another one, replaced that. Set the points. I now have spark. Oh, I replaced the spark plug wire. This is the one that had the short wire. And I got spark. One thing that I did find that I didn't like was when I took the shroud off, these two bottom ears are both broken off. So I'm going to try to come up with a solution for that. I was thinking about forming a part and brazing it, but this cast iron sometimes gets worse instead of better when you start trying to weld it. So I think I'm going to fabricate some kind of a new bracket and probably hold it in place with some screws or something. So I'll let you know what I come up with. But as usual, now I got spark and stuff, gotta see if it's gonna run. So just squirted a little gas in there before I put the spark plug in. I got a hose stuck on the inlet of the carburetor. Of course, I haven't done anything at all with the carburetor yet, so we'll just fill it up and see what happens. Well, she's taking gas. It doesn't appear to be running out anywhere, so let's give her a try. I'm just going to use the drill. I'm not going to put all that crank start stuff back on. Sounds like it wants to. Let me put a little more gas in her. So that did disappear. Oh, fine, I've set the gas on. Not having any luck on my hose. Alright, let's try this again. Yep, she's gonna run. Alright, I'll keep you updated as I go along. Okay, I got number 2 up on the bench to give it a quick peek at it in detail. Didn't have any compression. The exhaust valve was stuck open. I just took the little rubber mallet, tapped it, and she went down. I turned it over a few times. It was a little laggy. Squirted a little WD-40 in it. Now she's working good. Now this one has a lot of in-play in it also, so I'm going to have to look into that. And when I took the head off, you can see it's just packed right full. So I'm going to have to get that cleaned out. And these fins in here are all packed full of crap. This one must have been on something that was around a lot of grass or something, because it's just packed full of stuff. So just a quick peek at where I'm at with this one. I just wanted to show you guys this. I pulled that cover off and look at all that crap that's in there. Just packed right full. Hopefully it doesn't overheat it and wear out the rings or stuff. The cylinder and everything looks good, so I guess we'll know in a little bit. Okay, I got the backing plate, I guess you call it, I'm not sure, off. And as you can see, this thing is really a mess. And I think because maybe because of this, it's another one of them, sort of like on the Model B, that seal wasn't in place and it's been going around on the crankshaft and spinning in there. So I'm gonna have to either get a little bit of shim stock and some Loctite or something, come up with a solution to keep that in place. And that's probably why this thing is all oily. It probably was throwing oil out here and getting on the flywheel, going up, and that's why all that stuff is packed in there. And I got to figure out if there's some missing shims or something, why it's got so much end play. So I'm thinking this one's probably going to come all the way apart. I guess if I'm going to do it, I might as well do it right. So just thought I'd update you on that. Okay, I got the oil sump off. Everything looks nice in there. I got the gearbox off in case anybody's interested. And it looks like the engine oil also lubricates this. I know on some of the other ones they're separate. And apparently this runs the opposite direction as the engine rotates because there's only the two gears. So on the other ones I know the drive goes in the middle, so it rotates the same way. So just thought I'd show you what I found. Okay, I've been working on number 2. Let's see, what all have I done? I got the end play out. I made some shim washers. Got a couple left. And I did a little bit of reading in a Briggs book I got, and these were noted for wearing that front plate out, and they actually made a kit where you would put this back plate in the lathe, take a little out, and they made a bushing, and there was a couple of screws that held it in place. But I just made some shims and put in there. It should be fine. This thing isn't going to do any work anyways. It's just going to be a showpiece. I got the points. I had to rob the bottom point out of the other one because this one was really bad shape. Got the points clean. Had to replace the condenser again. Took the sump off, cleaned that all out. Got all the crap cleaned out of the head here so the air can flow through. And I don't have a carburetor yet for this one. I'm going to see if I can use one off one of the other ones. But as usual, I have to know if it's going to run. So I already did this once. We'll see if I can do it again. I just screwed a piece of 3/4 inch pipe in there because these are threaded. Squirt a little gas in there. Get her a little roll. So now that we know this one's going to run, I'll gather up the pieces that go to that, set it off to the side. We'll put another one up there and see if we can get another one to run. And when we get all done with that, we'll clean them all up and make them pretty. Okay, got number 3 on the bench and partially disassembled. This is the one that had the carburetor on weird. And surprisingly, that carburetor come apart nicely. I haven't got it clean yet, but that bowl can turn, so I think it might be the right one. We pulled the end plate off, took a peek in there. This is the one that we couldn't tell what year it was. But it's got an oil pump in it, so it must be one of the older ones, I'm guessing. And I got the points pulled out. The points look good, they just need cleaned. This one had some end play, so I thought I'd show you. This is, I still got a couple of these shims, because I made some extras, because I knew these had end play too, so this is where they go, right here. And then I'll put this cover back on and check, see if I need 1 or 2. But I'll pull the sump off of this one, make sure it's all nice and clean, put it back on. And I think this looks like it's going to be another good one. Everything seems to be in pretty good shape. That other one is pretty rough. So I think I'm going to use the shroud maybe. Let's see. I got a shroud for that one. Got a shroud for that one. And this shroud will go on this one. So I think this is going to be the last one we're going to be able to make. I don't have enough parts for that one. And I still got to come up with a manifold for the one with the 6-to-1 gear ratio. I was going to rob the one off of this, but this is a pretty nice engine, so I think I'm going to leave it intact and look for one for the other, or it's just 3/4 inch threads there, so no reason why I couldn't make something, so if I have to. So that's where I'm at with this one. Let you know when I get her together and see if it runs. Okay, number 3's pan is all cleaned out, fresh oil. Got everything put back together. Enough so we can give her a try. Give her a little squirt of juice. Okay, she's gonna run. So it looks like I'm gonna get 3 out of it. Now I gotta do a lot of work cleaning up and getting everything, carburetors and all that good stuff around. So when I get them all together, I'll get back with you. Well, I got one of them finished up. Been running for about, I don't know, 15 minutes or so on the bench. It's amazing, everything stays on the bench. It's balanced pretty well, I guess. So I got 2 more to go. The one with the gearbox I might save till the very last because I don't have a intake manifold for it. So you want to get the next one ready. Okay, got started on the one with the hand crank. Working on repairing these broken off tabs. And I took a file and I squared that off because when they cast it, of course, it was gradual. And I got a piece of angle iron here, and I did the same to the back side of that. I rounded it off so that fits right there, and right snugs up real nice. Oop, you can't see that, can you? There we go. Snugs up real nice there. And I also took the bandsaw and cut a couple of grooves right there and there, and then I put it in the vise and bent it a little bit so it fits the contour. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clamp that in place, and I'm going to drill through and try tapping this cast iron. And I'll put 2 screws in here. I get it clamped in place. I'll have enough of the tab left to know where to drill the hole. And I'll get the hole drilled. And I can finish dressing up this bracket to make it look a little nicer. So that's where I'm going to go with that. I got to working away and I forgot about you guys. Got those tabs made. That's what they look like. Got first coat of paint on it, and then I remembered that I don't think you guys had seen them. Well, they're there. Okay, I started cleaning up the carburetor for that one with the crank on it, the oldest one. I think it was a 38 if I remember right, something like that. When I took this carburetor apart, I thought it had one of them ball floats in, but it has a cork float. And there's a pin that goes through it, and there's a point on the end. And I'm thinking that that point needs to go in here for the gas shut off. But when I took it apart, the point was down. And there's nothing in the bottom except a hole to retain this. So I don't know if any of you guys happen to know for sure. Of course I'll find out shortly. But I'm going to put it in there that way because I think somebody had her together wrong. I can't imagine it would have ever stopped leaking. But just thought I'd show you that quick. It's the first time I ever had one of these apart. Number 2. Got some paint and got her back together. And this gas tank had some of that gooey crap in it. I decided I'd put a filter on this one. It doesn't have a sediment bowl, so I'm going to shut off. I'll put you up on the tripod and we'll fire her up. Nope, I see I didn't put the brass tag back on. That's over on the other bench because I didn't want it to get lost. Clamp this one down on the bench because the crank kind of throws it all over. I think once it's running, yeah, it sits there and runs nice. I'll have to make some shut-offs, but I usually shut the gas off and let them run out. So, got one more to go, the one with the gearbox. I don't have a intake manifold for that one, but I might go ahead and clean it up and get some paint on it, but we probably won't be able to show you that one running, but it'll be all ready for when I find a manifold, so I'll let you in on that when I get her done. Okay, while I was waiting for the paint to dry on the one with the 6-to-1 gear reduction, I went up in my other building looking for the next project, and I ran into a carburetor. And I think this will fit on that engine. It's got the right air cleaner and mount, and it's got the right pin on there. The only trouble is it's broke off where the cotter key goes through, so I'm going to have to come up with a repair for that. And what I thought I might do is put one of these manifolds on there. Let's see, it goes like that. That fits the carburetor, and I'll just make a flange here with threads in it to match that will screw into the existing threads on the head. So I'm going to attempt to do that, and I think maybe we'll have that one operational. Won't be restored, but it should be functioning. So I'm going to give that a try. Okay, I've been working on my adapter. So far I've taken a piece of 3/4 inch pipe and I run the threads on farther because they needed to be at the smallest portion and not tapered, so I just run a die on a lot farther than it needed to be. And this nut was one that was on the one that was broken off. That's the lock nut, so that'll go right on there. And then this whole thing is going to screw on to here, like so. And then that lock nut will, once it's in the right position, that'll lock it in place. So what I'm at now, point I'm at now, is I've got that in there. I got a little chamfer on both the plate and the piece of pipe, and I've got flux. I fluxed it, cleaned it all up and fluxed it all up real good, and I'm going to silver solder that, and then I will figure out where my holes are going to go for my mounting and get the shape of the get this shape on there, get it cut out, and then I'll get it all surfaced nice and flat so a gasket will seal on it. So hopefully next time you see it, it'll be done. Taking more heat than I thought. See, the flux is starting to flow a little. Taking her in. It's not hot enough and not clean enough. Now we're kind of getting some redness. Well, there, I guess we finally got a little bead on there. I was beginning to think that this little torch wasn't going to do her, but that's the only thing I got now, so if that hadn't worked, I guess I would have had to clean her up again and use the tick torch on it, but this will work fine. Got the adapter all finished up, turned out good. Just nut the screws on there. Already gasket on there. Get that in position and tighten this nut up and should be ready to go. Now I got to get the carburetor ready. Working on the carburetor, got her apart. This pin right where the cotter key goes through was broken off. So I'm going to cut that off flush, drill it out 1/8 of an inch and Loctite a new pin in there. And I'm making the new pin out of a piece of 1/8 inch welding rod. I got it in my little baby drill press. I'm going to drill a hole through, hopefully. That's a number 70 drill for a starter. I don't know if I got a cotter key that small or not. I'll go check. If not, I'll just up the size. So got that part of her done. Okay, got the carburetor cleaned up, new pins all installed. I think I wound up with a number 52 drill hole. This is the arm that's going to go on there. So we'll get her mounted up. I'm going to have to make a bracket for here because this does stick out just a little bit further. So this bracket doesn't quite line up, so I'll just extend a little piece out there. I don't want to change anything because someday I'll probably find the right one for on there. Then it'll just be an easy, take that bracket off and take that off and put the right stuff on. Everything will be ready to go. Number 3 is finally together, except for the gas tank. I don't have one except that one that's all smashed up. So I gotta find a gas tank. I got my temporary one on there so we can run her. There's what I wound up with carburetor wise. Right carburetor, just the intake manifold was bad, broken off. Put you on the tripod and we'll fire her up. Rattling bench. Okay, so I got 3 of the 4 Model A's running. Not sure what the next project's going to be. If it's going to be another engine or what. I got plenty of them to pick from. Been kind of fun doing this, so maybe I'll keep on with some different engines. If you enjoyed this one, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. See you next time.